We're on.
We're on right now. Peoples of the internet, greetings.
Hello.
Welcome to a second edition of the Heroes and Generals Developer Corner. I'm Rachel Gargamel, and I'm with Rachel Red Bjarne. And today we'll look at, I guess, some of the features of the newly deployed Rommel build, and also answer some of the questions we didn't have time to address last time. Are we looking at this right now? What are we looking at right now?
I'm just updating from...
Oh yeah, okay.
This is not my regular computer, so I need to obviously update the game.
Right. So right now we can't show anything, so we might as well talk about some of the pressing concerns.
Well. Actually, I could start with an apology.
Yeah.
for using a dice when ending the war. Very sorry about that. The US should have won this war, but we had to end it early in order to upload the new Rommel build. The way it works is that if for some reason we have to end the war prematurely, the server will just randomly decide who won. But everybody who has been following the war for the last few days, you would know that the Americans were so close.
So close.
And obviously they were not totally satisfied that they didn't were granted the win. But we're sorry, you should have won.
And I mean, it's a good sign that they were so close. Actually, we're kind of not cheering for anybody, but you know, they kind of
not cheering for. Yeah, we actually always get the accusations that Reto always plays the Americans.
I thought we were Nazis.
So that's
the other accusation. I'm sorry. I get so confused sometimes.
But actually, I don't think there's anybody in here who people just play whatever faction they like to play. Because we play the game a lot. We play it on our test server, so obviously we switch sides all the time. Me personally, I usually play the Americans when I play on the live server, but that's primarily because that's where fewer players are playing, so I can always get into a game. So that's my reason for doing that. I do like the Germans as well. They have cool weapons and stuff, but Americans have that too. So yeah. That's my reason for playing the Americans, not because I just want the Americans to win all the time.
Which they don't. Yeah, let's look at some of the questions from last time, I guess, now that we've answered that one. I guess, let me see here. Any squad-like functionality for clans incoming?
Any squad-like functionality
for clans, as in you don't play with
who's asking that question?
Sum vivere, apparently. I think it's Latin. Not sure. I am sorry if I didn't say it right. Sorry. Sum vivere. I suppose the meaning is like not to join as a six-person squad. You know, the whole.
Yeah, obviously we are working on an improved squad system. It's not gonna get into the game for the next build, that is, but something that we know that we need to improve on. So yeah, that is we are working on designs that should be
allow
better.
For that.
Yeah, in that area.
So I mean, some of the old players I've been shown this insignia design tool.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That, I mean, some of the core testers have seen it, and would that be part of it?
Hopefully.
Yeah, so you walk around with your own insignia and yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah, it's. I do think it has sort of somewhat migrated a bit from being originally just an assault team insignia to being all the way down to like personal insignia for your vehicles and stuff like that. But we'll obviously work it into squad designs as well. So a squad will have their own insignia. simple. Yeah, it's nearly done. It's just not fully incorporated yet, so it would be one of our so-called low-hanging fruits in the future.
All right. Let me see. We have also another question here from last time. Can we expect suppression fire, damageable buildings, and wrecks, like car wrecks, I guess, and tank wrecks, and such, anytime soon?
Anytime soon? That's that's a difficult thing to answer.
Any day now.
We obviously we have our destruction system where things you shoot at can break apart. Again, I think I've said this before. We are sort of like a relatively small team, so we have to prioritize what our artists are working on. Personally, I would like to see some more wrecks and stuff, but they have to be somewhat created and set up. So it's not just throwing in a bunch of new graphics pieces. It actually takes some time to do that properly. We have a lot of vehicles right now, but our system should be able to do some more.
And on the player side, it's also costly performance-wise, isn't it?
No, not really.
Destruction isn't?
No, Martin's actually in the next build has gone through all the windows and stuff and set up so the windows break probably when you shoot them, and it's just a matter of having the time to actually set it up. And the system is optimized, so it shouldn't kill your machine when it happens. There's another thing, obviously, that gameplay-wise, being able to just level the whole city with artillery, for example, might not be the smartest idea, because you just have players just wiping the whole level before they start. And obviously, again, we have this thing with especially the capture points, the capture zones where you go into. You have to be somewhat protected when you're capturing, otherwise you're just going to get shelled by tanks all the time, and that's just not fun. So we have to have some like really solid buildings. Completely destroying buildings might not be a good idea for the gameplay.
That's where I guess the quest for realism is limited by, like, it has to be a game somewhere. It has to kind of allow for people to win. Let me see here. Well, that's a vague question, but Holoctron is asking, what about assist points when we help to kill somebody?
Assist points, but
we get capture assists, for example.
Yeah.
What about if you?
But you get points for inflicting damage. So that should make up for the assist points.
I guess the concern here is that you spot somebody and then somebody else gets the shot and that kind of thing. And
it is really hard to determine in that category what an assist is, what qualifies it to be an assist. But if you can come up with a clever system, we'll look at it. Yeah,
that's always it's always a question of how we measure it, how we
Sometimes there's some cases that just are too many false positives that would ruin the system. So that's why some of the systems or some of the features are something that we won't implement. We just because it would be too hard to figure out, was this really an assist or was it just pure accident, or how did this happen?
Let me see. Now we have another question here. It's not really it's not really a question. It was a request. Well, I guess we might as well mention it. Ivan Spirit 7 is asking, can you please add the map name into the action game somewhere up on the screen, not just only on the in-game map? But then I see that Robotron added a note here that it's actually in Rommel already. Well, I guess we'll show that when we show the.
Fred just answered the question.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So there you go. So I guess we'll show you that when we get to playing. So the answer is in Rommel now. When you hold down Tab, when you see the scoreboard, you should see the name of the city where you're fighting. Oh, well, that's an old question. Whiskey Man is asking, bikes are okay, but can you add some horses?
Oh, I know our art director would really, really like to have horses in the game. We have one, but it's dead, unfortunately. Horses would be absolutely fucking brilliant to put that stuff in. But a horse is just not. It's what could I say? Slightly more complicated to animate than a bicycle. But I'm pretty sure our top animator is up for the challenge.
Correct.
Let me see here. I'm not sure I pronounced this right, but Chapek273 is asking, will you alter the looks of the capital cities so that we know it? Basically, will you distinguish them from the usual town maps?
Not at the up-and-coming builds.
I think we answered that question also somewhere on the blog. The idea
like
that
we could change because we could do something like just remove having a different backdrop or something that will.
So the horizon would have a landmark somewhere, and
that would be an easy way to do it basically, and so we don't have to build exact models of each major city in Europe. That would be just. That would be rather difficult.
Let me see what else, and also follow up on maps. A beach landing map.
Why is it that everybody wants that beach landing?
Because
was it ever used in a map?
I think a lot of people were first attracted to World War II games with Medal of Honor.
Yeah,
and I remember that's when I first played it. It was like, oh, the beach landing.
Yeah, but isn't it more of a single player thing?
It is, yeah, isn't it?
The multiplayer map.
Because it's essentially a big spawn camping map.
We had several discussions about this at some point, using the bots we have on the First Blood mission. That would be somewhere we could actually, because from a beach landing, you would expect a lot of enemies coming towards you from the ocean. We could do that with some bots or something, but that's something introducing bots actively into a multiplayer game is just, it's probably more complicated than it sounds. Bots are best kept
under control.
Because AI is just always, like, speaking from experience with Hitman games, is the AI was just always crazy. That was just like the worst thing to work with, because it just move something around on the level and suddenly the whole game was changing. So it's very difficult to probably incorporate AI in a game, especially a multiplayer game, I would imagine.
Let me see if we have that's actually a good question. A question about Paratroopers from BK Chicken. He says, I find it's annoying that I have to choose between anti-tank weapons or a gun for my paratrooper. Will you be adding some supply drops, or maybe a small crate with a grease gun, and then with padded balls or something along the line, with like sticky grenades?
Yeah.
So that you basically
like we already have the Panzerfaust scattered on the maps, so that there is anti-tank weapons. Some areas we probably should put in some more, but people always seems to be very focused on that the paratroopers have too few equipment points. But the reason we have that is to limit them in some way, because they are very powerful. We can see when we take out the stats for the games, and when paratroopers are just kicking ass. Basically, they're really, really powerful, and I think it's because they can just drop that directly in the capture zone. So right now, we don't need the paratroopers to be even more powerful. So they're hard enough as they are.
So the price for having the jump on everybody is that you have to run away from tanks, sort of.
Yeah, but
it's kind of a trade-off, right? You fall from the sky, but then you don't fall from the sky with a bazooka.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. but there should be.
Well, you could.
There is
if you wanted to.
On the ground, though.
Yeah, but you have to kind of find
them.
You have to go get it.
Yeah. And there is actually some points where there aren't any. So
Okay, let me see. Another rather old question. Whiskey Man is asking: Are you
a whiskey man?
Yeah. Are you going to add? Are you going to add cockpit view for the planes?
Cockpits are. We did start out making cockpits. Actually, we have some untextured, high-resolution cockpits, but they're very detailed, and it takes a lot of time to actually make them. And again, I think we decided to just because they don't have that much of an effect on the actual game. They're more like they're nice for people who likes planes. So we decided to wait until we, I don't know, there's other things that are more important to put in the game than the cockpits. That's why you have third person on the planes. We have added nose cam though, so you will get somewhat of this first person type feeling. It's for the planes.
Right. And
because we do get a lot of from people who actually play a lot of flight simulators. They would really like the cockpit view.
Where was that? Will we, as a follow-up for planes, will we see any new vehicles anytime soon, or new upgrades for vehicles?
Upgrades for vehicles, all vehicles. What's this?
Our friend Rusty416. So. Will there be any new vehicles soon? Wait and see.
Yeah, obviously there will. Right now we are sort of like we have to. Obviously, we just released a major change to an upgrade to the strategic game, so we have to sort of like follow up on that, and that might be our priorities for the next time is to make sure that all the bits and pieces gets in place, and we get tweaked get the new numbers tweaked and such. So, but obviously there are always new weapons and vehicles in the pipeline somewhere.
Let me see if we should we maybe move to.
Yeah, just load it up on the Ronald build just to check up on the war, see how it's going.
Yeah. So how is it going? So it's pretty much a tie right now, isn't it?
It seems like it's they hit a block. It was very interesting for us to see because the whole obviously the rules of the war have changed. So because of the general's restrictions on the assault teams, we expect a lot less activity. But it seems that there is actually quite a lot of activity on the map. And actually I was following it last night and could see that the Germans have tried several breakout attempts and been pushed back by the Americans. It's fun to see that you actually have these breakout attempts and when they get further and they get exhausted, the attack starts to break up. The whole premise of the strategic game is for generals to actually plan their moves, try and make a strategy and see if they can win rather than just pushing forward. I know a lot of people actually think of it as an RTS game, but it is a multiplayer strategy game. You have to communicate with the other players in order to be successful here. It's not just a rush that you would see in other traditional RTS games. Also runs a lot slower, so you have time to actually figure out what to do. But it looks like the Americans are they're trying to get Copenhagen.
We can hear artillery.
Oh, yeah. And I can see that they've been fighting all along up on the west coast of Sweden for the whole day, and I can see there's some Germans who seems to have been left
encircled in an airfield.
They are totally holding that airfield. That's awesome. And we're gonna make a lot of changes, or not changes. We're gonna do lots of tweaks to the strategic part the next couple of weeks, because as I said last time, this is a whole new upgrade, so we don't really know how it plays out. So we will go in and tweak a lot, and that is both the cost basis and the earnings models, and also the rank system. A lot of players have been asking a lot about this, how you earn rank and how you earn XP. The whole rank system have changed, so it's very different from what it was before. When you hit the officer ranks and you can start to deploy assault teams, your assault team's actions, if they win, or if they this is like the cost-based earnings, where if infantry manage to take out the heavy tigers, for example, heavy tanks, they will earn a lot of both war funds, but also a lot of XP for the general who deploys them. So the officers and the generals will actually earn a lot of XP from playing the strategy game well. It's still possible to you will still get obviously XP from playing the action game, but if you want to rank up in the high ranking officers, you have to get your XP from playing the strategic game. That's sort of like the idea about being an officer, is that you have to do officer stuff.
Yeah, I think we covered that a little bit, I think, last time.
And on to that point, I need to say we introduced this XP boost for certain players. It's not all, and that's sort of like it's something that we do because we know that this change have left certain players without the ability to use the assault teams that they actually purchased. So that's obviously not good, and we had to somewhat compensate that in a way, and we did this by doing the booster. We do still get some complaints from some people who are still not being able to deploy their assault teams, and for example not having the correct character that goes with it. So we're looking into expanding the bracket of what is required to get the bonus, the rank bonus, and we're obviously gonna run the bonus until it seems like we have a fair amount of players being able to play the strategy game. So it's a compensation fix that we're gonna run, and we're gonna constantly look at when is the game okay again from this move. So obviously, we're sorry that we have to do this, but it was necessary to get the strategic game to where we want it to be. So, but we are aware that some players are pissed that they that they feel that they get left out, and we're looking into it. And obviously, we'll compensate on that by tweaking the parameters of what qualifies a player to be to get the bonus. Obviously, if you don't have any assault teams at all, no bonus.
It doesn't apply. Speaking of which, Rune, Ritos Blixen and Best Pancake Ever, so Best Pancake Ever is asking rank requirements. It seems like you need a lot of battles to gain a new level. What gives? So is it? Would you say that
again? It's a new
depends
system.
When.
Yeah. It's a new system, and we're gonna tweak the values as we see how people perform. The officer ranks again have a much higher requirement than the non-officer ranks, and that is simply because that you get a lot more XP from fighting the strategy game. Also, you need to take into account that the more command points you get, the more the more assault teams you can deploy, and you can start to earn XP in parallel. So it's something that we're a bit cautious with it because it can escalate a lot. So for some players, but it's a system that we're still balancing it. So we need you guys to play it so we can see what numbers we get and start tweaking them.
And I think still related to that, are there Are there any plans to further incorporate the company officers in the first-person shooter? So, for example, to make them the squad leader in the assault team. I think also that's another variant of the question where, like, will the officer who equips an assault team, can he be squad leader when he plays the action game?
Well, I think we touched a little bit about that with the squad stuff. We are looking into an upgrade of the squad mechanics at some point and having a squad leader. I'm not sure that we're gonna require a lieutenant rank to be able to lead a squad. I think that will be somewhat lower ranked because that makes sense. Yeah, we don't have any plans of actually having the rank play a role in how the squad will perform.
A follow-up question to that one: is Ritos Blixen a real person?
Nope.
No,
it's a dog.
Sorry.
He's a god.
He's a a god of. This could go on. Okay. Let me see if we have a. Oh, wait.
I guess the god is back.
The god is angry. Wait a minute. Yeah, we apparently have some interesting questions at the bottom of the sheet. We have this spreadsheet there with all the questions in the world. Dundergod is asking, why do you guys rank players based on their kill-death ratio and not on score? As in overall score.
We don't.
Well, don't we?
No.
Isn't that the guys with the highest kill-death ratio that are at it? You don't.
The score in the action game that you see is actually a number that's calculated from the XP you earn, which is it's actually heavily tilted towards the capturing and the more tactical parts of the game.
Right, but when you're looking at the rankings, the top ranked player is the one with the highest kill-death ratio.
Is he referring to the?
I think he's referring to the rankings.
To the leaderboards.
The leaderboards. Yeah,
the leaderboards are going to be changed. Yeah. It's the leaderboard stuff. The leaderboards are. We're working on new leaderboards. I think it's just because the guy who implemented it just thought that kill-death ratio was the thing people would be looking for, but obviously not. The game is not about kill-death ratios.
Yeah.
Obviously that's part of it, but the thing is that the really good players in the game, they also get killed a lot because capturing is very difficult, and playing the game tactical requires you to actually stick your nose out and get some fire.
Because the real heroes are always the ones who don't survive.
So
right?
high kill death ratio doesn't really. You are a great Heroes and Generals player. Might actually just say you are really good at camping. I don't know, but the score in the action game will tell you more about how good a player you are, and obviously the XP you earn for ranking is also like heavily biased towards the capturing of points and helping with capturing resources, all these things, killing people who are capturing stuff like that.
Let me see. About weapons now. The M1 carbine and the FG42 have different equipment point costs. Why is that?
The two different sizes of weapons. So that's basically the answer for that one.
Yeah, there's no deeper
philosophical
reason there.
Yeah. We do get a lot of people who are sort of like puzzled about the fact that we add weapons that are not. I think it's just because when we add new stuff, we tend to give the Americans some stuff and the Germans some stuff, and people just take those two things and say these have to be equal, but they don't, because it's two different weapons. maybe we should start just adding a new tank and a new gun, and so to sort of like make it absolutely clear that
like variety.
we intend for the game to have enough stuff and in the game to not be completely equal on both sides. We would actually have each weapon to be sort of unique rather than being just completely equal.
Because I mean,
and obviously that will, as we get more equipment in the game, we will get more of these different weapons.
Because historically, I mean, it's not like this game is supposed to be a historical reconstitution.
No, but to a certain extent, yes. I think that when you join the game and you do expect the Tiger tank to be powerful. It was powerful, so we need to put it in and not nerf it to be the same level as a Sherman.
But what I mean is, like, even though the game is not intended as a historical reenactment,
nope,
it is still based on a certain period in history where Germans had lots of interesting gadgets, and the Americans had just the ability to produce masses of things, right? That's the difference, right? The Americans produced cheaper, and the Germans had like high tech.
It was fun. We had that discussion today. If we wanted to be historically accurate, then we should allow less weapons on the German side, less but better. But it's we could you could say we already have that. When you join in the game and new players join in, they will have the lesser equipment, and the players who have been playing for a long time might have the better equipment. So it does somewhat give it seems to, especially from the stats we drag out of the game, it sort of like evens out. And sometimes, yes, you're going to encounter some guy who has a powerful weapon, but hopefully you won't encounter an entire 18 players with like super weapons. So it's
So and still on weapons, will there be any upgrades available for the FG42 and the M1 carbine?
Yeah, at some point there will. Right now we are working a little bit on the modding system and the ammunition for the weapons. So the reason for not introducing any modifications for these two weapons is that we are going to change that actually pretty soon. So we rather not just introduce something and then take it away from people again. But obviously, they will be moddable.
And I think while we're on the topic, there's some concern about the price of bazooka ammo.
Yeah. That's the bazooka has before we got some questions about, hey, why is the bazooka more expensive than a Tiger tank? And that's simply because the bazooka before was you could say permanent weapon. You bought it and then you just had it forever, and it just kept going. But we'd rather have it working more like the grenades, where you spend them, because it is a fairly powerful weapon once you get it. So we changed it to be a consumable weapon where you pay for each shot, and we basically, I'd say that the price is probably a bit too high. So we are gonna lower it in one of the next deploys. It will be lowered, so it won't be so expensive as it is now. We did discuss the opposite direction, just making it even more powerful to match the price. But our agreement in here was that once we looked at it, let's not make it too powerful, because then it would just be like way too.
It's a fine balance, isn't it?
It
because
is.
There was I remember a time when people were like, tanks? No way, that's a death trap. I'm going to walk around with my bazooka and I'm going to be just fine. And,
it has to, but it has to be the way that especially the powerful tanks, they should actually work at a certain distance. If they try to get too close to the action, they and expose themselves. Infantry, if the infantry get close to a tank, it's fucked. And I think it should be that way. Because powerful the tanks are powerful, and but you need to sort of like play them smartly, but not just don't get into the town with a tank.
Yeah. I mean, there's if you look for it, there's a blog post about it with some advice for tankers. But yeah, it's one of the first rules that they give you as a tanker. Apparently, even in today's armies, is don't get in a narrow street in between buildings where people can climb on roofs and just.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of if you can get close to a tank. It's like especially the old tanks in the Second World War. If you could get close to it, then putting something on the engine, just a Molotov cocktail or something that would make it burn you, tank would just be screwed. So it's keep your distance, tankers.
I think
actually I prefer one good trick is actually to have this the infantry crates, the crates with the you put the Panzerfaust in them, and then choose the small fast tanks. That's actually a very very powerful way to play the game if you know how to do it. Put the Panzerfaust in the crate, and as soon as you spawn, you just jump out and take the Panzerfaust, because then you have it ready if you meet another tank, and then just use the speed of the tank to try and flank the heavier tanks and get them from behind, because they have thin armor. We have there are weak spots on the armor, so jumping out it obviously gets more difficult, and because the heavier tanks are usually driven by like more advanced players who know how to use them, but it's definitely possible to do.
I think, this being said, playing on live could be interesting.
Should we go and have a look at the
have a look game at what's going on there? And this time I could try to explain the progress bar on the assault mission interface a little bit better.
Let's see. Have we the map online now? Yeah, I've just been following this the Battle of Copenhagen. It seems to be very interesting.
They've taken what is that, Nordvest?
Yeah, but I checked last night before I went to bed. They were pushed all the way down here to northern Holland, and the Americans managed to get all the way up to Copenhagen. In what seems like a big push, because that this happened within like I think 20 minutes or half an hour, and then suddenly they had rushed up there. Very interesting. What have we more? There seems to be some fighting down here in this southwest part of the Alps, and we have the Zurich. I was actually sort of like guessing that Zurich would be captured during the night by the Americans, because it seems like yesterday that they were so close to capturing, but they seems like the Germans have come online and starting to push them back. We still have the 8 versus 7 score for the war. That has been the score so far. Then no capitals have fallen yet. Which the war will run for a while now. People will slowly get more and more assault teams, so it's going to be interesting to see how this war actually develops.
You're expecting this one to last longer?
It's like we were also worried that there would be so few assault teams that you just had like a few wars that were just instantly won, because like if 2 assault teams join the war, you can actually just run around and take the whole map very quickly. But it didn't happen. It moved in, and that was really exciting to see that first.
I just got informed of who led the attack. It's our friend Chile.
Okay, so he's trying to
who's taking Copenhagen right now. Good job.
We can zoom in here. Videre,
that's
Herlev.
awesome.
There's more going on in Herlev.
That is so funny.
That's awesome. Yeah. Let's see if they can capture Copenhagen.
Do you think? How about joining them? I don't know if there's any room in the.
I don't know. We have to obviously in the next few weeks see if because this is the whole new rule set, and 12 capitals might be too much. We obviously don't want a war where it's absolutely impossible to win the war. It should be possible. It should be difficult. Before we had some well, before with the Katana build and the only 2 capitals, it was more like a numbers game, which is not really interesting. I think this is it's exciting to see. Obviously, the next update, next big thing for the strategy game is to get the limitations on resources fixed. So the position and stuff start to play a major role. We have some long-term plans on including raw materials and production and all that stuff as well. And so that's sort of like the long view of the long-term plans of the strategy game. But getting to this point is a big step. But obviously, restrictions are what makes a good game, and the good players know how to exploit the restrictions. So now they have to choose
action.
We want action.
The people want action.
Oh, I just want to watch the war. So what should I try? Should I just go with my...
How about the...
Should I go with my tanker here?
Why not a tanker? Yeah.
I'm just gonna go... Should I pick a mission, or should I go in and...
Try to pick one, yeah.
Find mission. Usually when I play, I just press random mission, especially on live, because then I just get to see everything.
How about Bielefeld?
There we go.
It's populating, is it? Long silence. Maybe we should pick another one. Oh wait! You can join it now. That one.
This one.
No, whatever you were looking at. This one, for example.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm getting a transmission.
More questions.
Some orders from HQ to say something. Don't both stare at the screen.
What is it again? Oh no! I need to get this. No, well, I'm gonna play without sound, obviously, because the sound is fed into the video signal, which is gonna be.
Oh, Cupcake 2 left the game. I don't know what the recent obsession with cupcakes. What is that? It's like kids these days. I mean, there's so many players with Cupcake in their name.
I have no idea.
I have no idea what where that comes from.
Eat a lot of cupcakes. It tastes good.
It's like a mini muffin.
Let's see. Yeah, it's one of the artists in here's wife is really good at baking cupcakes. Until she started until she decided that they were also supposed to be healthy. Mm-hmm. Healthy cooking. That's no. Has to be
so vegetable.
Has to be bad for you to be good.
So.
It's really fuck.
Oh yeah. Maybe we could increase the brightness
on the screen.
Or maybe in game would be better, because it's all about what we're streaming. Yeah, there you go.
It's better, yeah.
Yeah. If ever you're playing for the US and you're like, these Germans are invisible in the dark. Well, then there's a brightness setting.
Yeah.
So about the timer and the progress bar on top of the screen, because it used to be an actual timer with the time decreasing. This here, the way it works is actually because the attacker has limited time to get the objectives. So you see a stopwatch icon on the top of the screen, and the arrows progressing to the right basically is progressing towards. Actually, the stopwatch is for the defender, is what I mean. The defender is trying to run out the clock, and the attacker has limited time. So here, Germany is defending, and this means that you basically, they will win when they run out the clock, and when basically their bar reaches the maximum. And the US, on the other hand, will win when they capture all the objectives. So their progress bar runs towards all objectives captured. And this is why their icon is not, it's not a stopwatch, it's a capture point, or it's an objective.
Oh, I'm totally doing the wrong thing now.
Are you camping?
I'm camping outside the city, but I really want to drive my tank in the city.
Yeah.
And you just told me I shouldn't do that, but I really want to do it.
There's a way.
They're gonna kill me if I go in there.
No, there's a way. If you that's one thing. If you look at your map right now, yeah, you're not using nobody's using the E line, because officially you're controlling. You have the access point on D.
Yeah.
And the other one on B, but there is a E line. It's just nobody's using it, so you can cross there. And most of the time, a lot of the noobs, they don't expect you to be crossing on that. So,
Yeah, sure.
or wait, get that.
Oh fuck!
There's a yeah.
Yeah. Now he's gonna kill it.
Where is he?
There they are.
Language.
This is
English.
There's no kids online, right? We can swear here. Are the new Twitch rules gonna,
I don't.
gonna remove the swearing part as well?
I'm gonna put frog noises until go ribbit.
Die.
Yeah, the is it just me that machine gun is it's really very loosely aimed?
It is. Otherwise,
it would be too powerful, would it?
It would be very powerful.
Yeah. How about you try to? Yeah, I guess camping on this side of the bridge is not a bad idea either.
No, but I'm also very exposed.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you try crossing? Are you game?
Yeah, well, I will try and die now. Oh, I see an unlucky guy.
He's still there.
Yeah.
He's still there. And I think he's kind of spotting you right now. Do you see him? To the left?
Oh,
Look at that. To the left.
red dot.
In front.
Got you.
In front of the shops there. He's not moving, but he's there.
Okay, let's see if we can get him.
He runs. No, you got him. You got him.
Oh, yeah.
The hit messages have changed a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're different colors.
Oh, yeah.
I think your name is no longer in blue or something. There's a... But your name isn't there anymore.
Oh, I can't.
I guess... Yep. Oh, huh? Ah!
Oh, fuck.
What about... Yes. I am reading the screen.
Don't look at the game.
Don't. So, I guess, what else can we look at? Oh, the just for fun, press tab. There it is. Yeah, you have the name of the map on top of the screen now. Yeah, that's a nice touch, because yeah, looking at the in-game map is it's tricky sometimes when you're running.
Don't stick your head out. That's
don't
lesson
stick
number
your
2
head.
with the
Lesson
tankers.
number 2, yeah.
Do not stick your head out.
How about you try with infantry or something?
Should I switch teams?
Yeah, no, just switch. Yeah, switch teams. Or not.
I'm just gonna go for tank. I don't know why. It's a long time since I've been playing the tank, so it's and I just love my Stuart here.
The What was I going to say about that?
There is. I can see light armor on the German side. I just haven't seen any tanks.
Maybe they know it's. I don't know. They know it's time to defend the objectives, so they're on foot instead of. I don't know. It could
Tankers
be
on foot.
No, I mean if they have many assault teams to choose from, they probably.
Yeah.
Although, yeah.
And we also have mechanized recon in there somewhere.
Yes, but it's advising you not to spawn camp.
Spawn camp? I'm not spawn camping. No, I'm gonna try and flank those pesky Germans. There you go. No! Oh yes! We won!
Yes, we won. Try one with the brand new. Do you have the M1? Do you have a Paratrooper?
I have a Paratrooper.
Give him one of the. He doesn't have the M1.
No, I haven't unlocked it yet.
He's not very fashionable. You haven't unlocked it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Check out how low rank I am.
Oh yeah.
I usually we play on because we have so many servers, and so internally I spend most of the time playing actually on internal servers. I do play on the live server as well, but my account is not very advanced. You see, I don't even have an officer. Yeah, I try to keep my online account as a. Obviously, we don't allow retro guys to just have a pimped account on live, because that would just obviously upset players, but also upset the game. So it gives a nice feeling of what's the balance in the game and how hard it is actually to unlock stuff. So if you have a real account, I know a few of the retro guys have actually bought gold on their own accounts.
Okay.
Which is that's their own business, but that's obviously allowable. So if you see retro guys with a lot of equipment, it's not because we just give them gold. It's actually because they purchased it themselves.
Let me see. I'm sure we have questions about gold somewhere in there. It's just that right now we kind of dug through the list, and I'm trying to find questions that are interesting. I know we don't really have an answer for that yet, but somebody said, our friend Holoctron is asking, sometimes you can buy two or several of the same weapon without kind of noticing that you're doing it. Can you change that? And also, can you make a system where you can you sell back your weapons that you don't want, and the vehicles, for example?
Yeah, we sort of like started doing that. I know a long time ago we actually had the system where you could weapons were not directly tied to characters. It was sort of like free. You can swap them around between characters, but that got changed like 1.5 years ago or something. And with the new generals characters, we sort of like reintroduced it. So when you decide to promote your soldier to a general, his vehicles and weapons will be stored in a depot. I think the uniforms are not supported right now, but they will be, and we are moving in that direction where your equipment will be transferable between characters, but it will come at a cost, because we don't want too much swapping around with stuff. And we also discuss the selling back of stuff that you purchased. But it's something that we need to sort of like think a little bit about to see how it works out, how it has to be implemented, because it could potentially disrupt the game's economy a lot. So, but we had to do it for the generals, because it's converting an action player with lots of weapons and stuff to the general just I think there was.
It's too much of a sacrifice.
Yeah, it was too much.
It's not interesting.
One thing is that you have
much.
to actually give up your soldier. Another thing is all the equipment. So that gets transferred to the depot. But we actually have a little bit of the same problem with the switching between classes. That your vehicles are sort of like left behind. If you are some players, for God knows why, they change from tanker, then they unlock some stuff, and then they change suddenly back to infantry and switch to fighter pilot. Obviously, our intention with the game is to have players having multiple soldiers. So switching around between the classes is just not advisable. It's not the intention of the game. But we have similar problem there with the some players have like a lot of vehicles that they can't use anymore because they switch the classes around. So we might do the same thing with the vehicle gets parked in the depot and you can re-equip it on a new character.
Because they have vehicles, but I guess you have to kind of have the skill to drive them, right? You have to
obviously the new soldier has to unlock it, but once it's unlocked, he can just use. He should be able to use it, but that's not for this build.
Yeah,
but it is definitely the direction stuff is taking.
And there's I just noticed there that we had a question that was asked by a lot of players. Apparently in Rameld, the swiveling speed for the tank turrets has been tweaked, and now there's acceleration on it, and apparently or inertia, I think, when you want to swivel from left to right, and you're not aware of that?
Not to an extent that it's it's a problem, but obviously if that's the first time I hear that,
they're just saying basically what was happening with that.
Yeah.
But I guess if it's unplayable or you know, we're
and I just played the tank. I didn't
I didn't notice that, but then I guess we'll
take a look at it and see
we'll take a look at it. If it's unplayable, it will get fixed, of course.
Yeah, we are obviously looking into different. It's also that whenever we update some of the mechanics internally in the action games, some of the values might suddenly be not entirely correct, and we need to fix that, obviously. For example, the other day we had a discussion about the firing rate of weapons, of the LMGs and the full auto weapons, and so far we have somewhat tried to base the firing rate on sort of like a practical number rather than as the absolute maximum a weapon can shoot, and we might actually. We just talked about like upgrading the system so weapon can overheat instead. Usually you would have it would be preferable if you have a machine gun to not fire it just on a full auto all the way through, because it overheats and it breaks. So that's why you would instruct soldiers to only fire in short bursts and not just also to conserve ammo, obviously. But you don't really have that in a game, and we don't have the overheating of barrels. That's something that sort of like goes more into the simulation style of game, and it can be somewhat annoying if it's implemented too realistically. It can be really annoying that your weapon just stops working all the time. That's just. But that is one of the reasons why the firing rates are not completely. Up to spec, just like move them a little bit down.
Speaking of which, somebody's asking here, Ofar 100 is asking, have you changed or have you increased the sway of bolt action rifles recently?
Have we? I don't think so.
No. Yeah.
It's details like that. I'm not 100% aware if it's something that the guys who sits with the weapons, they might do minor tweaks and minor changes all the time without just say this is something that we don't really need to address as get out as like a huge. It's just minor tweaks. So it might be that some of the bolt rifles have tweaked them a little bit. I don't know. There is. It could be actually we had this strange bug before we released the round build. So there might be some stuff that has been tweaked. We had a really crazy bug where when you got in and out of vehicles, all the weapons were flying around and the arms got really long and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
But so I mean, eventually, I guess we can sit one of the action team guys in here.
Yeah.
And have them answer.
Maybe we should have a like a focused Q&A session with
at some point.
For example, the animator guy.
For example. I guess we could gradually head towards a wrap up, because it's been an hour now.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. That's, I'm gonna get myself killed in here. It seems.
So I guess we're maybe one more question. One more question. One more question. One more question that is.
Oh, actually, I have.
You have one?
There's the whole issue about the. We got a lot of questions about. Last time we talked a little bit about cheat measures.
Yeah.
And we have some more. Just info on that. Obviously, we with the game going on Steam and suddenly get a lot of players. We also get a lot of people who try to cheat in the game. Using all sorts of cheats, aimbots and whatnot. And what I can say is obviously we record all the games being played, and if we catch somebody cheating, they will be banned. We actually right now we are collecting data enough to make we call it a ban wave, or a lot of players.
But we mentioned it last time. I think we mentioned that we did a little one.
Just need to make sure that everybody understands that cheating is just not allowed in the game, and we actually do something to prevent it. Also, we might put that out on the forum or as a news thing as well. That because we record all the games, we can go back in time and see if people have cheated. Once we discover a new cheat, we can actually backtrack several weeks or months, see who actually used that cheat. And we will ban them on if we can prove that they actually cheated. Use that cheat.
So because if you've cheated before and you find out later,
just because you haven't been discovered now, you can we might discover it in 2 weeks and then you be banned. So it's not you're not off just because you had one game where you actually cheated. A lot of people are complaining, or some people are complaining about the cheaters, and obviously we are. It's something that we take very seriously. We won't let people ruin the game by cheating. Yeah. So.
On either side, I get all kinds of weird messages saying like, "You let the Germans cheat, you must be Nazis." Like, no. No, it's really. I mean, it's not enough of our business, but I mean. It doesn't prevent me from sleeping at night to know that one side or the other side wins. I mean, it's a game.
Oh yeah.
But then sometimes you take it personal. I guess
it's just also to get out that it's get the word out that we are actually doing something. We're concerned about the cheating stuff, but it's we do need to make sure that we detect them properly.
Yeah.
But we have very clever programmers who can do that stuff. So.
Very crafty.
Yes.
So, I guess it's time for us to wrap it up. And I hope you're having fun right now with the Rommel build. And we'll see you soon on the battlefield. See you around.
Yeah.
Yeah.